back to the Global Falcons podcast, where we interview entrepreneurs through storytelling to bring you the experience needed to conquer your business. I'm Andrew L.G. Hunter.
And I'm Angela Hunter.
And we're here with Josh Buchanan with Magnaltus Consulting.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Welcome aboard. We're going to jump into the questions here, and I'll start. Who's Josh, and what do you do?
Who's Josh? I guess depends how you define me. If kind of looking from a
doesn't need to be in third person.
business business perspective or what. I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty eclectic guy, just kind of a mix of different things, well traveled and just have a lot of different life experience. So I've kind of just taken the things that I like and so become very unconventional in a lot of ways. Do things differently than a lot of people, and have a lot of different hobbies and interests. But what do I do for work? Business management consulting, as you mentioned, with Magnaltus Consulting, and that's very much my
Magnaltus.
professional. Yeah, Magnaltus. That's very much my professional passion, I guess. Yeah.
I love the name Magnaltus, and I'm sorry that I said it wrong.
Oh, that's okay.
That's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
Get to know you a bit better. We actually met years and years ago.
Yeah, probably 18, 19 years ago.
Wow, that long.
Yeah, it would be 2007, 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of great things since
Thanks.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very impressed.
It was actually funny about that. I was reading my horoscope this morning. I just read it when I see it on my newsfeed. But it said today's a good day to reconnect with old friends to bring yourself at ease, and that just works out perfect for this podcast.
Yeah.
That's a lovely sentiment.
I know.
I was even thinking about that. Did you two meet?
Yeah.
At Tim. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. And at that time, so I don't know. We should maybe tell the viewers, but we all worked at Tim Hortons together in Saskatoon. Yeah, it would have been 2007, 2008, maybe into 2009. And at the time, I was the assistant manager there, so I think I was the one making the schedule. So I feel like I deserve some credit for this marriage because I probably scheduled you two together.
That's amazing.
Lots of times.
Intentionally or unintentionally, I have no idea. I don't remember, but yeah. So. And then don't see you for 16 years, and now we're back. Yeah, something like that. Probably 16 years.
So what's the best thing you do for entrepreneurs with your business then?
The best thing that I do for them? I think it's just providing them resources, education, and confidence. So many people want to start a business at some point, and they don't feel confident because they don't know the steps, they don't know where to find things. So I kind of just bring that all together for them and guide them through that, either that startup or that expansion.
Wow. Love that.
Yeah.
I have an off-topic question about what you said. You're well-traveled. Where was your favorite place that you traveled?
That's a question I get a lot when people find out I've traveled a lot. And I don't have a favorite overall. I have favorites for specific reasons. So for the life experience, China and India were great because they're just so different from here. Whereas for tourism, I like Thailand and Taiwan and Colombia. For a place I'd want to live, I like Taiwan and Colombia. For interaction with the people, it's the Philippines and Indonesia. For food, Sri Lanka, Thailand. So it very much depends. Yeah, Sri Lankan food's really good actually. Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
Man, you have been around.
Yeah.
Something that we look at when we travel is architecture. We're into building and stuff.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
do you think is the best architecture?
It's not something I pay that much attention to. I mean, China has some definitely some unique architecture. Some Sri Lanka and India as well. There's a variety. Even Taiwan has some cool buildings and stuff like that. China too. Yeah, so it's kind of all over the place. But there's not one that really stands out to me in terms of overall architecture. Yeah.
Have you gotten to go to the Khalifa?
Oh, in Dubai?
Dubai. Yeah.
No, I haven't been there. Shane, my younger brother's been there, who but no, I haven't been there.
Wow, yeah, I really want to see that.
Yeah.
Same with China, though. That must have been something else. A lot of people there, eh?
Yeah, a lot of people. China was the first country I went to outside of Canada and US. Just one-way ticket alone. Just showed up there and stayed for 6 weeks kind of thing. So I threw myself right into the fire. And that was an amazing experience.
Oh, yeah, that really gives you a different perspective on everything, especially coming from Saskatchewan, right, or Saskatoon.
Yeah, it was different, and that's what I was craving at the time. I was so used to living in my bubble and comfortable here. I wanted to see what life was like on the other side of the world, in a completely different culture, and I got that experience for sure in China. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what gave you the drive to achieve success in your entrepreneur realm? Why start the consulting?
I think my drive comes from a lot of places. For one, it's just like doing things that I like doing. It's easy to be motivated when you do that, and I like the things I do. Like the things I do in my business, I did before I had a business anyway, in some form. I think too, I like being a resource. I like being useful. I like helping people. So that's a driver for me too. Also, I think just creating a lifestyle for myself is really important. I don't like to be too controlled. I like things my own way, and so that's a motivator for me as well. I think a big motivator as well is in the past when I had worked for other people, I found they didn't care that much about improving the business, and I often cared more than my employers did. So that's a motivation for me as well to like create my own thing where I get to improve it as much as I want to, and then my clients are only those who want to improve their business. So that's a motivator for me as well.
Yeah, that's great answers, man.
Thanks.
Very professional. What was your first deal and the story behind it?
First deal, I guess, like first bigger client was actually writing a formal business plan for a couple. They're like a farming couple in Alberta, and actually, I just posted on Facebook that I would write business plans, and they found me. And so, yeah, they had a like kind of a unique business plan where it wasn't going to a lender; it was going to like a specific farming institution where they needed that to get approved for like a permit for a certain type of farming. So yeah, they just found me through Facebook, and never met them in person because they were I think near Vegreville. And yeah, so that was really good experience, and I charged way too low, which which I knew that going into that I wasn't charging enough, but it's like I just wanted the experience, the repetition, and that kind of thing. So, and then my second big, well, not big, but big at the time maybe, was a similar like business plan for a local client in Saskatoon here, who found me on Kijiji. So same thing, like just good experience. Like didn't make much money off it, and that's okay. It was just good experience to get those first clients.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
You do a lot of your work like virtual?
Yeah, I have quite a few clients I've never met in person, or only like once in person kind of thing, and we pretty much exclusively do video calls. Some of them just phone calls. Yeah, I had one client in Prince Albert last year that it was only phone calls. Yeah, so it's a mix. Depends on the individual. Some people just like the in person. Some people like just phone calls. So yeah.
Is each business does it matter what the business is to make a business model or plan or these plans for people to take to the banks or whatever?
Yeah, it matters a lot. I mean, I don't do too much of the formal business plan writing. It kind of comes and goes. I haven't done any in a while now, but yeah, like every business is different, and every need is different. So people come to me saying, "Hey, I need a business plan." I'm like, "Do you really?" Because that's a lot of work. Like what I tell people is every business needs planning, and they should document that. But not every business needs like a super formal business plan. And when you do, that's typically because you're going to a lender to get a loan, and every lender has different rules about what they need to see, and every business has different things that need to be included in that business plan. So yeah, it can vary so much.
Okay, I didn't even know that. Yeah, we've made our own, and like they've been those long, like 170 pages, which is insane.
170, that is insane though.
Well, I think we started with that, and then we're like, hey, we can't just take this to someone. It's too long. We cut out like 60 pages, but it's still over 100 pages. That's too much.
That's too long. The longest one I've ever written was 40 pages.
Wow.
So typically, when you're like applying for a loan through a conventional lender, 20 to 30 pages is pretty standard. So
well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
We grilled the people at the bank to see what they even read it.
Oh no, they're not gonna read 40 pages, let alone 170. So no, they didn't.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
We have that. What is one piece of advice you would give to others just starting out their business?
I think at some point you just have to take the leap. I think people are intimidated starting a business because they don't know the steps. Maybe they feel like they can't do it, but like the best way to get good at running a business is by running a business. Just like, the best way to get good at whatever, playing basketball or whatever, is by playing basketball. So yes, it's good to do some research, and formal education helps, but there's nothing like doing it. So, kind of take that leap, and you don't have to jump all in and spend a bunch of money and a bunch of time on a business, you can start with something small and just kind of get the confidence and get the experience. I think that's my suggestion for most people.
Nice. Really good. Your hands dirty otherwise. Yeah. I like that.
Favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
My favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur, I think, is just like the freedom and the control, right? It's like I have this freedom to do what I want, when I want, how I want, why I want. Like, do I want to focus on this service or switch to that service? Do I want to like target this demographic or that demographic? Do I want to take the day off? Do I want to stay at my office for 10 hours? Like, do I want to work remotely? Do I want to be in a physical office? I have that control and that freedom. So yeah, to me, I think that's what I like best, because I am a very structured person, very routine person, but also I like to be able to throw that out the window and just be like, hey, I'm stressed out, I'm going to go ride my skateboard for a bit, kind of thing. And I don't need permission from anyone to do that. And yeah, just exactly that, freedom and control.
I love that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I can relate.
Especially after getting the taste of that remote work. I'm working remote only for like months, and your office over here. Yeah, and I love that. I love remote work.
Yeah, we worked very well together.
Yeah. We set up the table just across from each other.
Oh yeah.
Like, I can't even describe it. It was like the best time I had ever.
Wow.
Yeah, for us, it brought us back to like the Tim Horton days.
Oh yeah.
When we worked together so much, and we're like, you know what, we really enjoy doing this together. That's when we decided to like restructure everything that we do and build it more together. Like have both of our goals and ambitions coincide with each other to like build something, or to build an empire. Really.
That's good, because I feel like a lot of couples can't. They need to work separately, because then it's like too much interaction, and when you're kind of working together, it's maybe more important, high stakes things. So that's good that that brings you closer together, I think.
Yeah. And it's not like we're working different jobs.
Yeah.
But like
completely different industries.
Physically together, but yeah.
They work together though. And it's very interesting. We've never really seen that before. We're just like, hey, how was your day? Yeah. Oh, this is what I did. And now it's like, hey, did you get this done for this whole vision?
You're more involved. And with remote work, like I like that option now that, more businesses, more roles, you can work at least partly remotely.
Especially like you love traveling. Yeah. Are you ever going to consider doing that? Like being completely remote and just traveling the world more and doing these things with helping businesses from anywhere?
I don't think I will ever travel like I used to, because I used to do like 6 months up to 8 months trips where I was just living out of a backpack kind of thing. And one of the biggest challenges is, I spent so much time in like Eastern Asia. Like the time zone there is 12 to 15 hours difference kind of thing. So to work with clients here would be too difficult. I do like the idea of maybe going just kind of somewhere south from here in some of the colder months and working remotely, where I'm still working with Saskatchewan clients. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing for me when it comes to like the remote work and who I want to work with. Is starting out, I was kind of casting more of a wide net, but at this point I mostly just want to work with Saskatchewan businesses. And so if that's the case, I don't really want to be like in even Hawaii, where it's whatever 5 or 6 hours different. It's harder to interact with those clients. So if I am going to be traveling and working remotely, it's Central America, South America, United States kind of thing. So
we've been to Central or South Central, I guess. Central there quite a bit.
Yeah.
Love it there.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, especially man. The first time we went, we never really paid too much attention to the moon, right? But then seeing a half moon like upside down is very strange.
Weird.
Yeah,
being sort of around the equator, so
like
our they're always sideways, and theirs was up.
Oh,
I was very strange.
I've never paid attention to that, honestly.
But it's very weird to look at.
Now I'm gonna have to go back.
Yeah, it's like you're looking at a smile up in the sky instead of just like the half moon to the side.
Gotta go verify this now.
Yeah, it's strange, very strange. Anyway, get back on topic. When did you first realize your business idea has a potential to benefit?
I'm not that driven by money, honestly. Like much less than most people. I'm more driven by like creating a lifestyle for myself that I'm excited about and impacting others. And so I think I was just at the point where I just couldn't work for other people anymore. Or like I was looking for work, and there was a few jobs I was interested in. I didn't hear back, and then the ones that I heard back from, I wasn't that interested in. And just my experience in the past, it's like I just need to do something for myself, and this just felt like the right fit. And I didn't have a super clear like target market or path. I just knew that I had to do it, and I knew that it would sort itself out. And just like I knew that I had the life experience and a lot of the competencies and the drive and stuff to figure it out, and just knowing that it could go in multiple different directions. And so that's kind of how it went. And since starting my business, I have refined things a lot. And yeah, just finding there very much is a need for what I do. So yeah, but that's really been my focus more than anything. It's not about profit maximization. It's about like utility maximization and like creating this lifestyle and this career for myself that I'm excited about. And then I think kind of the money eventually takes care of itself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I kind of like I love the process.
Yeah.
I think if you don't love the process as an entrepreneur, like it's going to be tough. Like if you just start a business just because you want this specific outcome, it's going to be hard to be consistent. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'm very much focused on creating like the journey, improving the journey, things like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't even have a specific outcome really.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, it's more like a specific setup that I want, right? Yeah. Like that ability to work remotely if I want to, that ability to, take the morning off and go, meet with a friend or whatever that may be. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think your biggest challenge is?
My biggest challenge? It's interesting because I haven't had that many big challenges, honestly, in part because my business is not like a complicated one to set up. It's not like I built a restaurant and I built a facility and had to get all this equipment and stuff. Like it's pretty much just like me at a desk with my computer and phone. So didn't need any funding either to get started, just because I didn't have high startup costs. So I haven't had a lot of challenges in that regard. I would say I've had a lot of small challenges, and that's mostly opportunities that seemed really promising or exciting that didn't go anywhere. And so just like riding those out, it's like getting excited about something and then you'd never hear back, or things kind of change. And then, I made a list of those things actually that like I thought were going somewhere and didn't. So for me, that's been not a big challenge, but the smaller challenges that I faced is just, like things not coming together how you hoped and having to pivot or just kind of wait for the next opportunity.
Yeah, pivoting is huge. Do you find it difficult to like ride those ups and downs?
Yes and no. I mean, no, because none of those opportunities were just like completely going to change my life, but they were all exciting. And also because like, no matter what, I was never putting all my eggs in one basket where it's like, okay, I came across this individual, this organization, this seems promising, but I'm also doing these other things right now too. So if I don't hear back, if that goes nowhere, well, I got these other things that I have in mind too. Like I'm an ideas person too. Like I have too many ideas, if anything. So I always have other things to focus on, even if I'm not busy with clients or if certain opportunities don't take off.
Yeah, I can relate with that. Yeah, man, the eggs in one basket is so important for people to understand.
Yeah.
Because if you, like you said, if you don't have those avenues, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that you need a plan B, but you need to be ready to pivot to the next thing that you can see.
Yeah.
So it's just like investing too. Invest in one asset class.
Yeah.
And then your entire market depends on that thing.
Yeah. Are you into crypto at all?
A tiny bit.
Yeah.
Not too big into it, but
we like that one. And then,
yeah. Well, speaking of risk taking, that's a more risky asset class. So
yeah. Well, I love XRP. This is financial advice, but I love XRP.
Yeah, that's one of the few that I do hold.
Yeah, nice. We bought it at like 30 cents. Like a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's at right now.
It's
dollar.
Three something.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I don't even look that closely, honestly. But.
Oh, it's very exciting. And it went up to 450 there, and we bought the dip now,
but it is definitely my favorite.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh man.
I obsessively watch it.
I need to take some notes here. Go to Central America to check the crescent moon, and I need to check my XRP price. I haven't in a while, so yeah.
Oh, checking your crypto out of the country.
Oh wow!
Difficult.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. We went to Cuba one time, and
Cuba is different. I think.
Yeah. They like you can't even open up the internet to.
Oh.
They totally block it.
Oh yeah.
Which is what we're seeing now with like Facebook and news, right? Similar to that.
That's a Cuba thing and a China thing too.
Yep.
Like when I was in China, like no YouTube, no Instagram, no Snapchat. They have like different versions. There was I think it's called Yoku. It was like YouTube, except for you could get like American shows for free and stuff on it. So when I wanted to like go on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, I had to use a VPN there. Yeah, and this was 12 years ago. So it's probably even more restricted there. But yeah, there are countries like that for sure.
Do you think we're starting to see that more and more here?
Yeah, especially yeah. Well, it's not tough to answer. It's just like, yeah, how vocal do you want to be about those things? But I mean, not so much 2025, but 2021, 2022, there was a lot of restriction for what you were posting. Love it or hate it, that's a fact. There was a lot of censorship and stuff. So yeah.
Well, I won't ask you too much about that.
Off camera, we can get into it.
Why do you believe entrepreneurship is important for you?
Yeah,
I think it's definitely important for all demographics. Not to say that everyone needs to be into entrepreneurship, but just to make that more, make people more aware of it and make it more available. But when it comes to Métis people specifically, I think there's a couple things that make that more important. One is that Métis people, just by definition, were mixed, right? And I think having a mix of perspectives and backgrounds can often make you a better entrepreneur, right? Like even with my travel experience, like I pull these little things from different cultures and different countries and stuff, and that just helped me in life and in business too. So being Métis, being a mixed ancestry, like I think just more to bring to the table, more variety, more experience, things like that. And then on top of that too, I think it's important for Métis people just for, I guess, like mindset and autonomy, things like that. Just like, starting your own business, being an entrepreneur just creates that control and that flexibility that I talked about that I think, historically was not as available for Métis people and more so First Nations people. So to be able to start your own business, to create a lifestyle for yourself, to be in control of your own, day-to-day activities and things like that, I think that's really valuable for all demographics. But yeah, even more so Indigenous people. Yeah.
Well said.
Thanks.
Yeah, give me a minute. Man, one day we're gonna have these like memorized.
Yeah.
Just put them on the.
Yeah.
Have a teleprompter or whatever on the back wall. Yeah.
That's brilliant. And that's why you're the consultant, eh?
Yeah.
Sorry, where did you?
Why business is important for Métis.
Oh yeah,
entrepreneurship.
So now okay. How do you navigate major challenges and setbacks when scaling your business or other people's businesses?
I think every situation is different. Mm-hmm. I find that entrepreneurship can be like an emotional roller coaster. So you have to be like emotionally stable, and it's a good thing for me that I am very stable. Like I don't have high highs or low lows. But yeah, being a business owner is challenging in that perspective. So whether that's like growing my business or helping clients grow, it's just kind of remaining stable. I think it's easier too when I'm working with clients because I don't have that emotional investment. Like, yes, I'm invested in their business from the perspective that I'm working with them to help them and stuff like that. But I can just be more objective and be a soundboard. Whereas for myself, like, because it is my business, it's like harder to be like, I can't have that outside view as much. Sometimes I almost feel like I need my own business consultant just to bounce ideas off and have like an outsider give me perspective. So yeah, I mean, every challenge is different. Sometimes it's what some of my clients just struggle with greatly and what bothers them a lot, I can just easily bring a solution to them. Other times it's like, well, this is not something that can be solved. It can only be mitigated, and let's find a way to do that. So yeah, and that's, I mean, one thing for myself being a business consultant, that's an important quality to have is problem solving ability. So yeah. I like doing that.
Problem solving is huge in any circle, right?
Yeah.
How do you build and maintain a strong team culture within your company? I know it's just you.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to amp yourself up.
It's a
All
good
personalities.
well, just talk to myself in different voices. Like I actually thought about that, like on my website, like just have different employee profiles, like and just have it all as me, like our bookkeeper, our marketing person, our main consultant, and just like me with like different glasses and different hats on and stuff.
That would be so
I
funny.
think people would enjoy that.
Yeah.
You should definitely do that.
Thought about it, but I never actually did. Yeah.
That would be clearly you. Oh man.
I can have different looks. Some people tell me I look like a different person in every picture, so it probably wouldn't be hard to find old pictures of myself where I look like a different person. It's like, this is Josh, the marketing person, Josh, our bookkeeper, and Josh, our whatever. I'm gonna lose track of where I was going with the
Definitely do that.
building team culture. Yeah, because in my business, it's just me. I don't have any employees or any regular independent subcontractors, and that's how I want it. I'm not trying to grow to have employees, but so for me, I guess business culture is the culture I set. And so for me, that's like taking care of myself, right? Like entrepreneurship can be very freeing and good for mental health, but it can also be very like the opposite. It can be like destroy your mental health. It can be super stressful. It can be the opposite of freeing. It can be kind of enslaving to some people. They just get too caught up in it. So for me, it's having work-life balance, taking care of myself, prioritizing health and sleep and fitness and all and relationships and all those things, so that I can be productive and motivated and happy in the hours I'm spending doing professional stuff, and showing up as my best self for my clients, kind of thing. So yeah, creating that type of culture where I'm very disciplined and very much into routine and kind of almost obsessed with improvement, but also allowing myself to take a break if I need to, and have some boundaries where I'm not doing meetings with clients on weekends, and my evenings are I can work in evenings, but I'm not doing client meetings and stuff like that. So yeah, just
The boundaries.
yeah, I guess just kind of going back to that, like managing that control and that flexibility stuff. Yeah.
Right. How do you approach customer acquisition and retention strategies?
I honestly don't do a great job of retention. I don't really try to that hard. I could do better. And even acquisition, I'm not a sales person. Like that's my weakest thing.
Fooled me today.
I'll never like really cold call people or anything like that. I'm more so like, hey, I'm Josh. This is what I do. If you ever need me, I'm easy to get a hold of, and I'm happy to help you. Like that. That's kind of my approach. I'm not pushy whatsoever. So I could do a better job of retention, but I think even with acquisition, it's the same thing. Like I'm not gonna like cold call businesses and be like, hey, do you need a consultant? What I like to do is just kind of like put myself out there, where I have, like my YouTube channel that we were talking about earlier. I have 265 videos on YouTube right now. I have tons of resources on my website. I do free presentations for different organizations and stuff like that. So it allows me to get in front of people, to offer some free value for them to like recognize who I am and what I do and how I can help. And then it's like, yeah, now and now you know how to find me. I'm easy to get a hold of. If you ever want help, happy to help, kind of thing. And that's kind of my approach. And I know that I could grow my business faster and I could get more clients if I was more assertive, because I have seen people that are, but that's just not my approach. And I know you do need to get out of your comfort zone as an entrepreneur, but that's not a comfort zone I really push myself out of too much. Like I'm happy to go to networking events and talk to people, but I think anyone who I meet at a networking event, they'll say like, "Oh, I don't even know what he does," kind of thing. Like I don't really bring it up that much. I mean, that'll come up at networking events where it's like, "What do you do?" So typically that conversation does come up. But yeah, there's some people that are very close to me that don't really know what I do, because I don't really talk about it that much.
Well, this is good that you're doing it. You should plug your YouTube channel.
Sure. Yeah, it's just Magnaltus Consulting on YouTube, and it's like I mentioned, around 265 videos. They're all just kind of short videos, like 5 minutes on average, where I talk about business startup and business management topics, and a lot of them are Saskatchewan specific and Canada specific. But yeah, just I have, like I said, I'm an ideas person. I have all these thoughts, and I just want to like document those and catalog those, so that they're available to people, and just enjoy doing that.
That's brilliant, especially when humanoids become more available, you can just upload all those thoughts into it.
Yeah. Well, I could start making videos with AI now, right? Where you can just like film yourself and it'll record your mannerisms and stuff like that, and then create videos.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen it done before, but I'm not too eager to do that.
You can just take off the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to identify and capitalize on emerging trends, market trends. Sorry.
One thing I've noticed, and maybe I just didn't notice it before, but I think it is new. I think there's a big push for entrepreneurship these days, at least in Saskatchewan. Like, I feel like there's so many different organizations that are pushing for it across all sectors, across all demographics. I don't remember that being the case. Like, when I went to university, like, there wasn't a lot of push for entrepreneurship. Like, if anything, I was a business econ major, so I was in the College of Arts and Science, but I took a lot of commerce classes. And in the business school, I found like they were more so pushing people towards being high up in big companies, and that was the goal. There wasn't a lot of talk about starting a business, and it's often not the business students that even start businesses. But yeah, what I'm finding is it's
never even went to secondary school.
Ones who didn't go to post-secondary, ones who dropped out, ones who were in something totally unrelated to business. Those are oftentimes the people that start businesses. Yeah, exactly. I think in part it's paralysis by analysis. Like, the more you learn about business in a institutional setting.
Say that one more time.
Paralysis by analysis.
Okay.
Like, you learn so much. If you get a business degree, you learn about business law and finance and accounting and HR and marketing, and then it can be intimidating. It's like, oh, it's too much stuff to know. Whereas for someone who didn't study business, they're like, I don't know what I don't know. I just want to do this, right?
Or
So
figure it out as they go.
Yeah, exactly. So it can be intimidating for those who study business too much. But yeah, so with like emerging markets and trends, there's a trend towards entrepreneurship. And so I mentioned all those organizations that are pushing for it. So there's a huge opportunity for me there. But what I find is most of these organizations that are pushing for it, they maybe don't actually like teach all the proper steps to entrepreneurship. They might offer funding, they might offer resources and stuff like that, but who's actually talking about, choosing your legal structure and registering it and getting your business license and how to get funding and when to write a business plan and how long that should be, and PST and GST and workers' comp, and like bringing in all those important administrative steps. I feel like there's definitely like a huge opportunity for me, and I'm seeing that play out already where, just providing that education and support to help those entrepreneurs actually take the right steps to start, grow, and improve their businesses.
That's like a thing that I found when I was going through it. It's not very practical. It's 3 days, and it's not like, this is what you need to do to start your day. This is what you need to do throughout the day. It's not like that administrative thing here in post-secondary. So I feel like they should be teaching more of that.
I agree.
I think the big push right now is because of all the retirees. I think we're at this point where we need the economy runs off of businesses, especially small businesses, the mom and pop shops. These are the people who have already they're retiring. They're now they're living a simple life, and now we need these new entrepreneurs to step up and start creating opportunities within their communities.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it is filling that kind of retirement demographic, and then just economic growth too. I think the government has realized that economic growth is a good thing.
Well, we can't just print money all the time. Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, not all the time, but there have been stints where lots of money was printed, and that's another topic for maybe off camera. But I agree with Angela's point too, how like institutional education, generally speaking, is not practical enough. Maybe in certain industries, like maybe if you're studying dentistry, there's a lot of hands-on practical stuff, but that's a big thing for me. And actually, before becoming a business consultant, I taught at an institution where I was teaching a business certificate and diploma program, and I really like that. But what I'm doing now is way more practical. Like, it's okay. Let's register your business. Let's figure out if you need to charge GST. Let's like practice doing your bookkeeping. Let's create a Google business profile. Like, super practical stuff that people do on a day-to-day basis with their business.
Yeah, that stuff I can recall going through all those steps and not having that help. Very great that you're doing that for people.
Thank you.
Like, that can be very challenging, especially when you don't even know. And like, man, if you don't know that right off the hop, you can get badly
Yeah.
for lack of a better word, screwed.
Yeah.
When it comes time to like, time to pay the piper.
You just, yeah, exactly. Like starting out, you just don't know what you don't know, and those resources often aren't available, or if they are, you kind of got to like go through a bunch of stuff to find the answer, and it's tough. And yeah, like a lot of businesses fail not because the owner's lacking knowledge or motivation or anything. It's because the owner of the business didn't know about the sales tax or payroll deductions or insurance or whatever, right? Like I think that's probably the biggest thing, and that's what I see all the time is just like business owners making mistakes and missing things, and they're great people and they're good at what they do, but they just like they didn't know about this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know their trade or their skill set, and then beyond that is that's the learning curve.
They're good at working in their business. Mm-hmm. They're not good at working on their business.
Yeah. Nice. Well said.
You mentioned earlier about work-life balance.
Yeah.
What do you do to provide that for yourself?
Good question. I think for work-life balance, it can be hard because, like I mentioned, I like what I do. So I try and spend as much of my time doing the things I actually like doing. And so maybe I work too much, but I'm doing things that excite me. And so I think that's okay. But it's been important for me to just like, keep client meetings kind of the Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 type hours, with the odd exception. But I think one thing that helps me with that work-life balance is having things scheduled. So for example, like I'm on a beach volleyball team where we have games, scheduled every week, and drop in badminton league, same thing, and on a couple of basketball teams and touch football and stuff. Those are very scheduled. It's like I have a game 7 p.m. Tuesday. So it's like, yeah, not only am I not working, but I'm doing that. Or even with the gym, like not that it's scheduled the same way, but it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday mornings that I go to the gym. So having those, routines and those commitments, that helps a lot. Because if I have nothing to do, I might just kind of like keep working. And even if I enjoy working, it's still good to have those breaks. And additionally, it's the sports becomes the socializing and the exercise and stuff like that too. So yeah, I think scheduling things, because if it's just like, oh, I'll go to the gym when I feel like it or when I have free time, you probably won't go unless you really love going to the gym. Whereas for me, it's like, well, it doesn't matter how I feel, how motivated I am or whatever. It's like, that's just what I do Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
And that just makes it easier, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, a set thing, and then we sort of decided to move away from that. We're like, oh, we'll just get the other once a month to do whatever we decide, and now we hardly do it because it's such a loose schedule that if you don't actually schedule the time, it's hard to.
Exactly. You need that strict scheduling. And I like that. I try to set the same thing with my friends where it's like, hey, let's meet the first Friday of every month and let's just go for food together.
Nice.
And like you got to do something like that. Unfortunately, like they all said they were interested and then it didn't really happen. But I think just, that type of like scheduling, like write it down, have a set time. That's how you stay committed to doing things or maintaining balance.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts for the viewers about yourself, your business, what you're doing in the future, or maybe something like a quote or something? That was a lot.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. I don't know. Final thoughts.
What are you doing in the future, and what advice do you have for people?
I feel like, and I kind of commented on this earlier, but spend as much time doing the things that you actually like doing. I think culturally we have this like definition of success, and that's like, oh, you get a lot of institutional education and get your degree and make a lot of money, nice house, nice car, have a family. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but like everyone has a different definition of success. So to like follow the cultural norm is not good, and I see way too many people that are not happy with their lives because they've pursued someone else's definition of success instead of listening to themselves. And so like you could look at me and say I'm not successful whatsoever. Like I don't have a lot of those assets that other people might have, or even the income I've made, right? Like spent so much time traveling, but the life I'm living is the life I wish I was living. Like there's not much I would change about my life. And I think it's hard to have true success and good mental health without looking at things that way. So I think that's an important takeaway for me. And then as far as myself, like what am I doing in the future? I got a moon to check out in Central America. I'll go home and check XRP price. Excited though about a program that I'm just starting here doing like a business startup program with GDI for Métis entrepreneurs, and then with SIIT for First Nations entrepreneurs. So just that like straight to the point, no nonsense, what you need to know to start up a business properly. Just getting started with programs with both those organizations. Still chipping away on my YouTube channel, and yeah, that's kind of what's happening right now. Pretty excited about that stuff.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was really great to hear all of your answers. You bring a lot of value, and I know it's going to bring a lot of value to others.
Thank you.
I definitely learned a lot.
Oh,
So that's always great for us.
yeah. Good to hear that. Yeah,
All
thanks for
right.
having me.
Well, we'll see you next week. Thanks for coming. This has been the Global Falcons Podcast.